Alright, hey everybody, welcome back to the Part-Time Homestead. This is my first video of 2021 and this is due to the year of 2020. 2020 probably got a lot of us thinking about a lot of things, but for me, it really got me thinking about security here at my homestead and for my family, also while they're away from the house. When everybody's home and you feel a lot more comfortable and confident in being able to take care of them yourself, but when everybody's away, it's a little bit more challenging. So I want to show you a way to help keep your family members a little bit safer while they're out. Everybody's circumstance is going to be a little bit different. You may be lucky enough to work from home at this time. You could also be working really close to home and not have a very big commute. But for some of us, that's not necessarily the case, especially if you live on a homestead or out in the country somewhere. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about why I'm doing what I'm doing and our situation that kind of calls for this. So a little bit about our situation. We have a 61-mile one-way commute to work, and that's a long way. We work in a big city. We cross through 2 medium cities, 2 major rivers, a small river, several creeks, and we have 61 miles one way. And in 2020, there was a lot of peaceful protest, and if you've got a long commute, you don't want to get caught in that. And there was some of those in the city that we work, and it just got me thinking that, what are we going to do in that case? Not to mention any of the other possible scenarios. We live in California, it's the earthquake state, we cross bridges, rivers. I mean, we could be trapped and not able to get home. California is notorious for fires and having long commutes, long delays. I mean, just any number of natural disasters, tragedies, or anything like that. Just want to plan accordingly. So what you're going to do is get yourself a get home safe bag or make one for your family member. In my case, my wife is right along with me in this journey. She kind of feels the same way, but you may not be so lucky. You may have a different mindset than your wife or other family members, but it doesn't stop you from making them a get home bag. And what you see here on the table is everything that I'm going to put into the bag. I'm going to tell you what it is and why, just the basic necessities of what you need. So first off, you need a bag. And it's just basically go to your local Walmart or whatever and pick yourself up a bag. Now this is the first bag that I purchased. You can see all the mole straps on here, mole straps. This looks military to me, or somebody with a lot of experience. And I bought it just really quickly and I wasn't thinking about it. And I don't want, for this, I'm making this for my wife, and I don't want her to look like some ex-military or law enforcement person. I want her to be very nondescript, kind of gray man issue. So this bag had to go. I'm gonna use it for my bag now, and it's gone. So what I got is just a standard black outdoor product bag. So you get your bag. Second thing you're going to want to think about is clothing. For my wife, she's business casual. She typically goes in high heels and maybe a dress or some kind of fancy stuff that is not going to be suitable if she has to walk 61 miles one way home. Now for us, we've already talked about this situation. If we're away from home, if you're at home when something happens, you stay at home. It's up to the other person to get home safely. So if I happen to be home and she's at work, it sounds kind of harsh, but I'm not going to go out and get caught in any nonsense with the kids trying to find her. She's very well capable, and this is going to help her get home safely as well. So bag, she's going to need clothing. So basically socks and those things that you put on underneath everything else in a Ziploc bag to keep them dry. Also, we have here a long sleeve shirt and a light jacket, so you can dress in layers because you never know what the weather's going to be like. It can be freezing here in California, it could be warm, so dress in layers. We have a black hoodie, very nondescript black hoodie, and standard blue jeans. And of course, shoes. Now, these flashy, reflective, neon green shoes got to go. I need to find her something black, something not so visible if she's trouncing out in the woods and trying to stay low. All right, so we got our clothing taken care of. We got our bag taken care of. Next is water. 61 miles, I think with no problems and no issues, my wife can do that in a day easily. But we're gonna have she has water in her car, and we're gonna have a bottle of water or two for the bag as well. Also, for whatever reason, water purification tablets. If you have to get water from one of the rivers or creeks we're crossing, water purification tablets. Waterproof matches in its own container. Food. I wouldn't expect it to take more than 3 days to get home. And without food, you'll be just fine. But you're gonna need some energy possibly. So what I like to do is get these Clip bars or any type of a protein bar. This is a Think, or I found these really cool honey Stinger waffles. These look pretty good. Obviously some nuts and blueberries and just all kinds of freeze-dried stuff that's gonna last for months, and I don't have to take out of the bag every other week and replace because it's going bad. So just pick yourself up some things that have a pretty long expiration date. You can toss them in the bag. All right, so we got clothing, food, and water handled. All right, also along with, we have an emergency blanket, so you have to stay the night. These things are loud and kind of wonky, but they do keep you warm. And an emergency poncho. For my wife's case, we're gonna need an EpiPen, so we have an EpiPen just in case. And we also have a first aid kit. Now, in our situation with 61-mile one-way trip, I got some blister stuff, some Band-Aids, some Tylenol, some headache medicine, and just all your very small standard stuff for cuts, scrapes, nicks, burns, things like that. Nothing major in this bag. I do have some bleed stop, but hopefully that's not gonna be necessary. All right, and we do have another fire starter kit here separate from the matches just in case something gets lost. And we have several ways of starting fire in here. We have these wet fire starting, these little wet fire things. I haven't tried them out yet, but I did buy them. Vaseline soaked cotton balls, which are very good for starting fires, as well as a couple lighters in this little bag and a signaling mirror just in case. Also, since there are rivers and we do have floods and all kinds of other things, there is a whistle here. So I don't want her getting swept away, or if she just needs to draw attention to herself, she can use this whistle to do that. All right, and some wet wipes, sunblock, glow sticks for light. This is a flashlight that I bought off of Amazon. I'm gonna do a review on it soon, but this thing is like bright and it was dirt cheap. Well, not dirt cheap, but it was cheap. And it's rechargeable by a USB port in the car, so it can always be full charged. I guess the only downside to this is it only lasts a few hours, but use it, if you use it properly, it'll be just fine. And you have the glow sticks. Now this is a very important one as well. This is a knife I purchased for her. It's a Kershaw, but what's important about it is it has a glass break on it, and it also has a seatbelt cutter. So these are going to be might come in handy for her when she's traveling in her car. This is a 20-liter dry bag. So as I mentioned before, there's rivers and creeks, and if you're on foot and you need to keep your stuff wet, you can put it in this dry bag, seal it up, and drag it across the river with you, and all your important things that you need to keep dry will be dry. This is another poncho. It could just be used to keep your backpack dry, or you can wrap something up in it. It's just extra. All right, so I think that pretty much covers what I think my wife would possibly need to get home 61 miles, no more than a 3-day trip. We also have, this is a little something extra because of the peaceful protests. We got a pretty nondescript black hat, black bandana, and some Sharpie markers. So if you find yourself caught or stuck in one of those peaceful protests, park your car, get out, find some cardboard, or if you happen to have something in your car that you can write on, put the quote of the day on the board, put your black bandana and your hat on, join the group, and get out of there safely. Secret weapon. hat, bandana, Sharpies. And the last thing that I want to talk about that she's going to be taking in her car is protection. Something for all this stuff is going to get her home fed, watered, medically safe, clothing, everything that she's going to need to make that journey. But we purchased these little snap safe lock boxes. They go in your car and you can put some form of self-defense in these lock boxes. Now I'm going to show you what's in this one. This one happens to be mine. In mine I have my little Smith & Wesson Shield 9mm, right? And I have some extra ammo. Now in California, you cannot carry this ammo in this box with this gun. I have to put this in my glove box and keep it separate. But just for this video purposes, it's here and in the gun, or loaded in the gun and in the box. Now this box also comes with this cable. It connects in here on the side, and then you lock it in here, and then this wraps around and you lock it into your car, onto your seat or something safe in your car, so it can't be taken out very easily. Smash and grab is very common theft here in California, but if they don't come prepared with some bolt cutters, they ain't getting this box out of your car, so it should be pretty safe. For you, I mean, everybody's, like I said, everybody's journey is going to be different. Everybody's, situation is going to be different. Your wife or your significant other may not be comfortable with a gun or know how to use a gun. Maybe you'll have mace in here, you'll have a knife in here, you'll have a taser or a stun gun or bear spray or whatever that you want to use for protection. You can put it in this box. This just keeps people from breaking into your car, easy access to something that you don't want them to have. All right. So, I hope everybody stays safe. I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe you got some sort of an idea about what you can do for your family members to keep them safe while they're out of your hands and out there in this crazy world. Yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.